Hi everyone, we're back. We are continuing our series for the holiday paper challenge that I've kind of made for myself. I also wanted to show you when I started out trying to figure out the projects I was going to make. I have some like post-it note tape, and I went through and I labeled quite a few pieces of the paper with what I wanted to do ahead of time. And it's really helpful now that I'm going back and making everything. It's going faster because I kind of prepared. This, we're going to make two quick projects. This is 6x6 paper. I took the 12x12 sheets, I cut them in quarters, and so now we have 6x6 sheets. This is envelope punch board. If you don't have one, they're fantastic. They're very inexpensive, and they do a lot more things than just make envelopes. So I would encourage you. There's so many videos out there on YouTube on how to use this, and you'll see me in my videos use it quite a bit. Today we're going to use it on this project. This is going to be a envelope. Actually, it's not an envelope. It's going to be a box that I'm making with this punch board. We're going to take, there's measurements up here on top. And what we do is we just line it up with the measurements. So I'm going to line it up with, this is a 1-inch mark here and then 1.5. I'm going to line it up with the 1.5-inch mark. I'm going to, let's see here if I can zoom in a little bit. Okay, so we're at 1.5. I'm going to press this thing, which makes a little indentation or makes a cut actually in the paper. There's a little score line there, so I'm going to punch and score at 1.5. Then I'm going to move it to 2.5. Do the same thing. I'm going to punch and then I'm going to score. Now, I'm going to rotate it twice, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to line it up at 1.5, punch, score, line it up at 2.5, punch and score, and then from here on we're just going to line up our score lines and finish it out. So what I mean is we have score lines here. I'm going to take my little point on my punch, I'm going to punch it, and then I'm going to score, and that's going to line everything up in the end. So then I've got another score line there that I'm going to line up with, punch and score there. I've already gotten that corner taken care of. I'm going to go over here and line this up, punch it and score, go down to this line, punch it and score. And I kind of made myself instructions ahead of time, and I had put on here that I needed to go to 4.5. So let me slide this down and see how it has, these are the ends that are going to fold in, and then you have kind of this bigger triangle area here. So what you want to do is you want to have that triangle area on the right side. You want to line up with 4.5, and then we're not going to punch, we're just going to score. All right, just like that. And then we're going to flip this around, do the same thing. We're going to, our big triangles over here, line it up with 4.5. We're not going to punch, we're just going to score. Now because we didn't get that whole thing scored, you can easily just turn it over. Once again, line it up with 4.5 and just finish out your score line. And once you, if you've not worked with the envelope punch board, once you get to working with it, you'll feel a lot more comfortable using it and come up with your own ideas and your own projects. It's a fun tool just to get some scrap paper and play with. So all I'm doing now is burnishing all of those score lines that we made. And then what we're going to do is, this is what it looks like. So these little corner squares, we're going to get rid of our little pieces that cut out. I will also tell you, if you're not familiar with the envelope punch board, the back of this is a corner rounder. So if you slide in your paper like that and you press down, it rounds out the corner. So you can have, you know, smoother looking corners if you would like. So we're going to cut in these little squares because those are our flaps to fold in. Then everything's just kind of fall in together. Take the shorter sides and fold them in. Now, because this is going to, these flaps will end up being too big to cross over. So what I would suggest is where you've made that score line, just cut off the extra. I actually left myself just a little bit extra beyond the score line. So when you fold this up, it all goes together like this. And to finish it out, because I don't actually know what I'm going to do with the box, so I don't want to seal the two ends quite yet, but I know that I want to keep it together. I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on this one longer side, and I'm going to fold everything up so that I know that it's going to line up. Get everything tucked in, and then just going to kind of give it a press. And then I can open it up, stick my finger in there and make sure it's nice and... Okay, so there's that project. Now this is great if you do an Advent calendar or Advent projects. You can punch a hole in it and put some string in it, ribbon. You can hang it from a tree, you can hang it from whatever. This ends up being 4.5 inches long by 1.5 inches wide, and it's about 3/4 of an inch thick. So it's a nice size little box. You could use it for, you know, put some chapstick in there and some candies and give it out for little gifts if you wanted as well. Cute little size. We're also going to take another 6x6 piece of paper, and I make these quite a bit in all kinds of different sizes. This is going to become a sour cream container. So people in the paper crafting world call it. What we're going to do on your wrong side or inside of your paper, you're going to take and put adhesive on two sides. Now, if the patterns matter to you, which way it goes, you just might want to pay attention. On this with the snowflake pattern, it doesn't matter to me. So this is my top and my bottom. What I'm going to do is turn it over, and I'm going to put one strip on the right side, or the pattern side paper. Okay, see, so we have top and bottom, and then I turned it over, and then going the other way, this is where I have the adhesive to bring everything together. So we are going to just bring our sides together, just enough to cover the adhesive. And this adhesive that I have in the ATG gun is like super duper strong. All right, so everything is together. We're going to now take it, and I will tell you, and I should have done this beforehand, and I apologize. All right, so let's finish this first. We're gonna grab the bottom and just pinch it together, and everything comes together like that. So now you have a little pouch. But now I have the adhesive up here, and I do not know what I'm going to stick in here. So what I should have done was, I could have used my ATG gun to seal the bottom, which would have been fine. But then what I should have done was my tear and tape that has the backing on it. I probably should have put it up here, just so that when I was ready to seal it up, I could have peeled that off and then filled it. So I'm going to have to leave this open, and hopefully nothing else sticks to this. But essentially what's going to happen is you're going to turn the project, and you're going to pinch it in the opposite direction. So we pinched it this way, we're going to turn it one turn, and then you're going to pinch it this way, and it's going to look like this. And you can stick some treats and things in there. This is also a wonderful thing to hang on the tree as an Advent activity. This one's actually kind of big, but you can cut your paper down and make smaller ones as well. So we have the little envelope punch board box made with 6x6 paper, and then the sour cream container. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.